I've learned from hanging around successful people. I was taught that if you want to be successful, find successful people and do what they do. And I've kind of lived by that, especially once I got started in this business 33, almost 34 years ago. I would always try to find the most successful people, and I'd just go up to them and say, "What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing." And I would listen to them, and I'd get some good ideas from them. But the most amazing thing is, you guys, is that I realized that they weren't doing anything different than I was doing. They were just doing more of it. In our business, the simplicity of our business is that we get people to try the technology, and then we ask them if they want to be a customer or an associate. Okay, seriously, that's all we do, right? And you sit back and go, well, how many different ways is there to do that? And some people think they're building their business when they get the technology on somebody's, skin once a month, or once a week, or once a day, or maybe 5 times a day. And so when I talk to successful people, they were doing that. They were getting the technology on people's skin, and I'm equating it to what we're doing here at Super Patch, but I just wasn't doing it as much. I'm like, okay, well, if you're doing it 4 or 5 times a day, and I'm doing it 4 or 5 times a week, that's something I can learn from, right? So I just need to speed up the process a little bit. And one of the things that I learned from people is an old saying that says, adversity is preparation for greatness. Adversity is preparation for greatness. And everybody who's ever been successful at anything has had to overcome adversity. There's no possible way you can expect to be successful without going through some troubled times. In anything that you do, whether it's in business, whether it's in your profession, whether you're trying to learn how to fly an airplane or be a doctor or, build a building, it doesn't matter. You're going to go through some stuff, but it's always a learning experience, right? Because if you can overcome that adversity, you're learning the process of what you're trying to learn, and that creates greatness. So guys, when you're building this business and you're talking to people and you've got all these speed bumps that are being thrown in front of you, from now on, I want you to look at that and go, oh yeah, that's exactly what Steve was just talking about on that call last week. It's like, oh yeah, that's that speed bump. That's that adversity that I have to get through in order for me to be great. And listen, it all depends on what your definition of greatness is. If you just want to go out there and earn a couple $100s a month, you're not going to have to go through much adversity to get there. But if you want to earn an extra $5,000 a month, you're going to go through a little bit more. If you want to earn an extra $10,000, you're going to go through even a little bit more. If you want to get to the point where you're making $50,000 a month, it's like, yeah, you're going to go through a bunch of stuff. And it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy. But I will tell you this, it's worth it. It's worth it. Every bit of broken glass and barbed wire that you have to crawl over to get to where you want to be, it's worth it. It's worth it when you get there, right? And then when you get there, you know what I'm going to say to you? Congratulations. Now, what's the next step? And we're going to celebrate that goal and that achievement for, a couple minutes. And then you're on to the next thing. Because this is what I found out about hanging around successful people, is that they always have a positive attitude. Okay. In front of you, they have a positive attitude. When people aren't looking, sometimes it's not that positive. When I'm sitting here in my office and I'm not talking to you guys, I look at my prospect list just like you guys, and I'm like, what the heck is this person doing? And I'm like, why in the world? It's not always that positive, you guys. It's not always that positive. I people tell me a lot. It's like, oh man, I love your energy. I love your positivity. I'm like, that's great. You don't see me behind closed doors all the time because it could be a little different story, but I just know why I'm doing this. All right. And so they always have a positive attitude. They don't complain. You'll never see a successful person complain to you. They tell stories. They are masters at telling stories. And I think stories sell. And if you can tell a compelling story to somebody that gets them interested in what you're doing, a story can add value to what you have. And certainly in our case, you guys, we can tell stories. They don't quit until they win. That's what successful people do. They don't quit until they win. That's an old Les Brown thing. Les Brown said, "It ain't over until I win." It's like, okay, well, you can never quit on a bad day. Just make that a rule, you guys. You can never quit on a bad day. Successful people, they dream big and they live large, unreasonable lives. I I think people, not so much you guys, because you guys get it. You know who doesn't get it? Is my family. My brothers and sisters and my aunts and uncles. They don't get me. They don't get it. I think they think that I live an unreasonable life. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I once had a cousin say to me, "Geez, Steve, when's enough?" And I just thought to myself, man, you are never, oh gosh, I got to be careful what I say here. Steve, when is enough? And I'm like, wow, it's never enough. It's like, okay, you go out there and help a bunch of people, and then you get to a certain number, and then, okay, that's enough. I'm done. Because guys, especially what we do, we don't get up every single day going, I'm going to go do this so I make money. It's like, no, you wake up every day and go, I'm going to go help somebody, and then the money follows. So people outside this call sometimes, they don't get it. And that's okay. And what successful people do is they don't always know for sure what's going to happen. They just go. Just go. However, the biggest thing that I see from successful people is that they are able to see opportunity in both up and down markets. And they're incredibly inspiring. They're inspiring to be around. And I absolutely love that. And when you see the end of the month coming around, you know what successful people do? They don't sleep much. I always talk about finishing strong. Successful people always finish strong. And listen, you can decide to be great, or you can decide to be unstoppable. And you're like, wow, Steve, what's the difference? Well, you become unstoppable when you work on things that people can't take away from you, like character and habits and mindset and attitude. Guys, when you're great, you win. Understand that you win. You can be great and you're going to win. But when you're unstoppable, you also win, but you've got the mindset that says, yeah, but not by enough points. Yeah, we won, but not by enough. That's when you become unstoppable. When Tiger Woods won the Masters golf tournament, I want to say in 1997, I think he won the Masters by 10 shots. And I think he set a record that year. And the executives at Augusta National, and Ben, you can relate to this, they actually changed the course because Tiger just ate it up so much. They made it longer. They made the fairways narrower. They made the greens faster. Tiger wins by 10 strokes. And you know what Tiger talked about? Everything that he did wrong. He goes, yeah, but on number 9, I should have made this putt. On number 14, my approach shot wasn't on the left side of the green where it should have been. That's what makes him unstoppable. Yeah, he won. He won by 10 strokes, but he thinks he should have won by 14 strokes. That's what makes somebody unstoppable. Guys, everything worth having is uphill. Everything worth having is uphill. The problem is that we have downhill habits. We've got uphill hopes, but we've got downhill habits. The biggest problem that we have as leaders is keeping people climbing. That's the hardest thing we have as leaders. Because you guys can look at the people in your organization and go, how do I keep these people moving? It's like, that's the hardest thing. 4 days of climbing can be absolutely wiped out by 1 day of coasting. Now, doesn't that sound a little bit harsh? It's like, no, listen, guys. Yes, you can enjoy yourself, but don't ever take your foot off the gas pedal. Don't ever take your foot off the gas pedal. You know, as leaders, stop asking, when am I going to get there? And start asking, how far can I go? Okay? So guys, if you want to be, you know, in that really successful category, have a positive attitude. Don't complain. Become a master storyteller. Have the attitude that says, it ain't over until I win. Dream a large, unreasonable life. Unreasonable. Get unrealistic in this business. And don't think you always have to know what's going to happen next, because that's part of the beauty of it. You guys, we all have the ability to be successful. We all have different degrees of success that we want to get to. Whatever that degree is, go make it happen. Absolutely positive. And listen, I don't begrudge anybody for saying that I want to make an extra $1,000 a month. I was like, go, way to go. And when you get there, it's like, yes, we're going to celebrate that. I get just as excited about that as somebody who says, I want to go out there and make $100,000 a month. I'm like, yes, let's go do it. And we celebrate that. Whatever the goal is, that's on you. Just go hit it. Just don't stop until you get there.